What's up, y'all? Welcome to my first video. Today we're checking out Travis Hunter's first game of his final college year, snap by snap. I'll give some thoughts after the game about what I feel he's doing great at and what may need work. Later on, I'll do another video on his last game of his senior season to see how he's improved. I'm also planning to make different videos covering all things football. If you like what you see, feel free to support however you want. I'm also dedicated to making high quality videos, so if there are delays, it's because I want each video to be worth sharing with you all. Hope you enjoy.
Shotgun, they send a man in motion. Tipped away and incomplete. Miller's going to hand it off and nowhere to go, so they from the left hash. Heading up to the bottom of your screen in the 3-by-1 out of the backfield. It's complete.
Here, and Eli Mostert, the best player on defense for North Dakota State.
Nice run here by 3rd down and 4, trying to stay on the field. A gaping hole up the middle. Horn in motion. Sanders gets it out to Horn on the edge. Sanders gets it out quick, complete. Wentz. Pressure coming. Shedeur gets out a dart, complete to Hunter. On the move, showing him his shoe bottoms. His 10th overall. And the Bison scored a field goal on their opening drive, and Miller gets it out underneath, complete to Henderson. Henderson right now, number 5. They expect big things, and here he is on the jet sweep. 2nd and 2. Quick slant, complete for the 1st down and 10. Between the tackles, a gain of about. Pressure coming from the Buffaloes. They try to get to Miller, but he got it out in time, and with. On 1st and 10. Underneath again, it's the same guy. Henderson has a little bit of room, cuts back. Sanders puts. Miller keeps it himself, and it's sideline communication. He gets the carry. Miller, touchdown. Feeling coming in here, Roddy, that they would be on, which is one of their goals. Jimmy Horn back. 1st and 10, Buffaloes. On the sidelines, one of the changes this year in college football. Shedeur, Sanders over the middle of the field. Horn on the catch at the other end. The connection and a touchdown. And the Bison will run this one back. Rajon Nelson. A little counter. Penu. 1st quarter, Miller. Throwing off a different platform, and now a lot of formation, but no motion on that. He's going to be brought down right around. Miller on 3rd and 7. Escapes and finds a man for the 1st down. Miller on the move a little bit. Number 3, they run the jet sweep. Payton completes it. On 1st and 10. Miller back in, keeps it himself. So far, Miller keeps it. Got a good block.
From the backside as well.
Shedeur Sanders has not had an incompletion. He's 5 for 5 back, no tight ends. They run it to the right side.
Team in the Big 12 is on that schedule.
2nd and Wester in motion. They're going to keep it on the ground, and they're not going to make it. Early defining moment. They keep it on the ground. Oh. Vermeer leading the way for number 25, Brown. And they roll up their sleeve. Out of the eye again. And it's, you don't have to be a superhero. Just make the basic play. Keeps it this time. 10. Miller to the short side of the field. Motion again. Henderson in motion. Miller under duress.
To convert.
Sets up a 1st and goal. Miller with a play fake. Into the end zone and income. Miller on the keep. Miller on the quarterback draw. Made him most of this 1st half. Little misdirection going nowhere fast. Your screen. Miller goes through his progression. Lance leaping for the catch. This one coming from a cleanup duty like the crew did before the game in the run-up. 4:33 to go in the opening. First down and 10 for Shedeur Sanders. Horn on the other end of that catch. Sanders gets it out quickly to Travis Hunter. Shedeur Sanders, who he says prepares like a pro. Down the sideline for 3rd and 4 for Sanders. And he's going to be sacked back in midfield for North Dakota State. First punt of the game for the Buffaloes. Braylon Henry. All right, guys, holding it down in the studio. 2nd and 5 for the Bison. They lacerate that. 1st and 10. Taking a shot down the sidelines. 2nd and 10. Quick slant complete to number 3. Right. 3rd and 2. They keep it on the ground. And the Buffalo watch it bounce at the 22. And it takes a Bison carom all the way. And a couple of timeouts remaining. They set up the screen out of the end zone, trying to get to the Bees, the original Buffaloes. On the out. Sanders stepping up. Pulls. Complete at the 24-yard line for the first down. Blitz coming off the edge. Sanders delivers complete. Clean pocket. Keeping his eyes downfield. They run a twist. Sanders elusive. Fires, got his man. And a good move down from the 40. Sanders gets it off down the middle. This one is a low line drive. This was never going to be a walk in the park, and it'll be 1st and 10. Horn watches it go out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10.
Incredibly important game.
Shedeur steps up. Bottom of your screen. Shedeur comes back the other way to Hunter. Makes the catch. Tallest target. They're going to keep it on the ground. And down to the 5-yard line is Miller. 4 wideouts in the formation. Sanders into the end zone for Hunter. Sanders pulls. Incomplete. And picked off. It takes a crisp. 2-yard gain on the play for T.K. Marshall. What? Great point. Across the formation, the pass complete to Nelson on 3rd down. And they get a sack. Their first one. Steindorf with the punt, a line drive. Wester watches it back. He's going to be down to about the 28. Kesnick down to the field. The season opener for both these teams. Sanders wide open. Room service downfield. Sanders gets it out quickly into the flat. Nice to get the 20. Sanders escapes. At the bottom of your screen. A gaping, yawning hole. Sanders pulls it out into the end zone. Touchdown. Buffaloes retake the lead. Sidelines. The Bison will have a chance to run this one back. Nelson. Physiotherapy and bring it all back.
And hopefuls and Heisman favorites.
On 2nd and 4. 3rd and short. And it's a quarterback. Henderson in motion. Miller over the middle. Finds him across the formation. And
let's go.
It's Dreamville for you. Run to the outside. Miller with a clean pocket steps up. And he is defensive line for North Dakota State. Miller on the key. Short pass complete. They get the play off in time or not. There's a flag down. I'm not sure that they... Almost a sack on Miller. Dante Wester back for this punt. Last time they did a directional punt and
to this game.
Sanders underneath and a nice catch by Wester. Yes, with 9 national championships on 3rd ball game. 2nd down and 10. Sanders over the middle. Complete. They're going to run it on 3rd down. Off the goal. They feel that they've established a culture here. Shedeur, what
blemish?
Hands it off this time. Blitz off the edge. He gets it out quickly. Complete. And a missed tackle. Sanders delivers downfield. 2nd and 10. Completes this. Oh. Sanders. Sanders completes it. Nice catch.
You could convince me that way too.
Sanders. Into the end zone. A flag on the play. Inexorable drive. 15th play. They're going to keep it on the ground and run it. 2nd and goal. Sanders puts his foot in the ground, but he's going to be stopped. 1. They just get it off. Into the end zone. Contact.
Hey, he can get one hand to the ball at first for real, then reels it in with the other. It's 5.
Among others, has kept him in this game against the clock. Miller's going to keep it. On 3rd and 2, they're going to run it. And he stayed this first down to stay alive. And Peyton gets that, and then they fake the jet sweep. Peyton is going to be sacked. Still on his loss of 5. Miller back in the ball game. Surveys, pulls.
2-minute timeout as well.
One of the new wrinkles, but nowhere to go. Trevor Woods. Miller on the move. Plenty of real estate. Down in the backfield. Miller rolls out. Eli Ozick with the kick. And he booms it into the end zone. Out of the backfield, complete. Sports Center, 2nd and 10 for Sanders. Little receiver bubble screen. Great coverage, hold and possession. Off the play fake, surveying. Sanders has a man. This time they keep it on the ground, but they get back to the line. Sanders gets it out quickly, complete, got a block on the edge. Horn is good. Fair catch called. Hayes going to pin his ears back and come after the quarterback. Miller got hit, but he delivered a strike.
Stops after 1st down to reset the chains.
A 20-yard gain on that play. Miller has a man open at the 47. They'll spike it again. Miller, he gets it off. It's short of the end zone. Losing streak, but they get on the board as one of the behemoths of FCS.
All right, y'all. So as far as, I guess, just watching the film, I took a few notes regarding both good and bad, but also both not necessarily bad, but areas of improvement, but also defense versus offense. I guess I'll start with the good and kind of not reiterating things that y'all have been hearing over the past few weeks or even months about his ability. We can look at you know, how smart he is as a football player, especially on defense. He's really good at getting his eyes to the backfield to address the run, and he does that without losing his responsibility, whether it's man or whether it's zone. If you look at the very start of each snap, he kind of snaps his head to the back of the to the backfield just to see exactly what's going on, and whether or not he is to play the run or whether if he's in man, whether he can turn his back comfortably to play the defender, or if in zone he can more so worry about if he's in match who's coming within his zones rather than looking back downfield to the running back or the offensive line, I should say. But he also plays, again, you know, getting into his zone, and what I just said, if he's in match, he plays a great match defense. A lot of times you see him drop a defender that's leaving his zone, obviously, and then pick up another one that's coming within his zone. He does obviously an excellent job of doing that. Very smart football player. He has good coverage discipline. Again, just piggybacking on his match defense and just his ability to stay within his zone. Has good coverage discipline and doesn't make high risk plays unless he sees an opportunity to fully commit, if that makes sense. There was that one interception that he made where he dove against, I think, UCF, and he obviously broke on the ball, but the ball was out and he felt comfortable about being able to make that play. If he didn't make that play, then it could have turned into 10-15 yards down the field, an additional yak if the receiver was to get his hands on that ball. He's a great tackler. There was a play in this game, the first half, where there was a bigger running back running to his side. He drops his back kind of and gets him to the ground. That's where, I guess, brains over brawn comes into play. And his being a smart football player, he understands physics and how to get a man to the ground. You tackle a bigger guy who weighs more than you, you tackle him low. And he's obviously got a smaller frame, but again, he's a very smart football player, understands how to get guys to the ground. He's a vocal leader. You see on different plays where he's calling out to guys, formations, and getting those guys in check and kind of moving them in a position that they need to be in. He'll get scrappy. A lot of times there was a play where he was at safety. He came down and sealed the edge on a run. He also was kind of in the box and got over top of the offensive line and played back towards the line of scrimmage and helping seal or get a runner to the ground that was coming up the middle. He's versatile. Obviously, he plays wide receiver and cornerback, but I mean more so in defense. In the second quarter, they put him back at safety. In quite a few snaps, they had him in a nickel, and even almost as a box safety in some sets. It was pretty interesting considering, again, he's not the biggest player. And then he is stronger than he looks. You'll see kind of a block shed he had on a wide receiver that was kind of holding him, but they were both getting handsy. He kind of swung him to the ground in the first half. But again, wouldn't consider that a strength, considering that everyone in the NFL is strong. So yeah, he could definitely be stronger, but he is stronger than he looks, I'll say. As far as weaknesses go for defense, there aren't too many. I honestly don't even have any written down. I mean, I had to get nitpicky and really think about things that I saw on his tape that just needed improvement. And I'd say maybe getting off the block on rundowns, but also you don't want to get off the block too soon and the running back cut to the opposite side of where you shed to and make that touchdown or make a play that's could have been 10 yards, maybe 25 yards now, because you completely took yourself out of the play by committing to one side, if that makes sense. So I mean, even doing that or nitpicking on that is kind of hard to do. I'd say maybe as far as areas of improvement on defense is, again, just nitpicking just so I can have one is, I don't know, wrap up tackling. But again, he gets guys to the ground and he misses very few tackles. Over the course of this past year, he's missed very few tackles. So I don't really have one right now, at least not from this tape. Maybe we'll find one when we come back and review his last game of the season tape. Now, as far as, I guess, offensive strengths go, obviously there's a lot there as well. And I have quite a few notes written down as far as offensive strengths. But he runs every snap full speed. He runs every play that's called, whether it's for him or for somebody else. He runs that full speed every single time. So I say that to say, like, on a run play, he fully commits to his route, even if it's just there for distraction. But I mean, that essentially makes you a whole other blocker, because safeties and cornerbacks and linebackers even are so focused on where Travis Hunter is on the field that kind of takes away from the run game and allows a lot more holes to open up, because there's less people to block if they're focused on a player who sells as if he's getting the ball that play. He also understands overall leverage, especially with the ball in his hands. He understands how to use a player's momentum against him. He knows, I guess, how to make himself look as if he's going one way and then obviously stop on a dime and go the other. It's just extreme high understanding of leverage, and again, that physics aspect combined with the just overall ability. Again, he's just incredible and incredibly smart as well. He has great balance just as a player overall. You know, you see a lot of tiptoe catches. You see a lot of catches where looks like he should be going down, but ends up staying up, and also a lot of times you see him running around and looking as if he's like 10 pounds, but there's a few plays in this gameplay where he drops his shoulder and not necessarily runs through a defender, but hits him. So he's obviously not light, but he looks like he's a feather floating out there, which is how it should look. That's how a lot of great players look when it comes naturally and easy to them within the game of football. He also has a great understanding of where the defender is at all times, when he's catching the ball, when he's turning upfield to run. You know, he just understands where defenders are at, and that could be attributed to his two-way, to just being a two-way player and understanding defenses when it comes to being a wide receiver. But it obviously benefits him and causes for a lot of times for players to miss him, I guess, just when they're attempting to tackle him. You know, he has that ability to make that first guy miss, and again, I think that's attributed to understanding where the defender's at, which can then be further attributed to being a defender and just thinking where would he be at, I guess, on a play, if that makes any sense at all. You know, he also, again, draws a lot of attention, kind of touched on that with the run game, but when it is a passing down and our passing play, you know, he takes so many people's attention and allows for, you know, other guys to open up across the middle or on the outside. It's just incredible. As far as his ability, just you know, physical ability, he's a contortionist. I mean, you saw that play where he was in the end zone and had a defender draped over him, and he had to reach around the defender to make the catch. Like, he's a literal contortionist and can make his body bend in ways that guys shouldn't. But it's incredible to watch, and on top of that, he has sticky fingers. He catches with his hands. Obviously, it's very few times where he catches the ball with his body, if at all. You know, he secures the ball a lot of times against his body, but he brings it in with his hands. Just has sticky fingers and some of the best pure hands that I've ever seen. And again, he creates space where there is none at all. Like, again, the guy draping over him, he created little space to be able to get around the defender. Obviously, with his flexibility and the way he can bend his body, he was able to get around the defender and make little space, again, to seal a catch, or even in his routes, he's able to create just space and separation within such tight coverage. It's just incredible to watch. As far as needs for improvement, again, like, I'm not trying to give this guy all praise, but I only had one note written down, and it was literally just he could have, I feel like, better leverage on his comeback routes. And again, that's me just being nitpicky, and to say that I guess when he makes his drops to and gets his hips kind of settled, it's not as fluid as I feel like you'd like it to be. And again, I'm just having to be nitpicky just to try to find one thing. But again, overall, he's an amazing player, and obviously, you know, becoming more crisp on his routes will become improved as he gets that NFL training as he grows in his understanding of the game and knowledge again at an NFL level, with the offensive just players around him that have experience and be able to mold him into, you know, a better overall player. It's just gonna, I don't know. He is obviously, his ceiling's high. Everybody knows that, but I'm personally excited to see how far he goes. Again, guys, I just want to say thank you for staying this far. If you came this far to the end of the video, again, there will be more football related content that comes up on this page if you're interested in that. I just love the game of football, and any way that I can you know, expand my knowledge and expand my understanding of the game, I love to do. So yeah, come along for this ride, and hope you guys enjoyed.